Parents make poor advisors, and in the wealth creation process, they could actually be an impediment. Well, welcome to subramani.com. Please click on the bell icon and subscribe, and please watch the videos in full. It makes sense, right? So, did you ever get a feeling that your parents are not your best of advisors? And when I say parents, I also mean a lot of journalists, bloggers, friends, seniors, bankers, chartered accountants. They are not the best of advisors if they are not doing it as a part of their profession, because a lot of these amateur advisors will largely tell you, I did it, it worked for me, so it will work for you. That is not true, right? Now, take a case that you went to a school, or rather, let me put it this way, your great grandfather was a farmer or a priest. Your grandfather or even his father went and took up a government job. Your grandfather was an IAS officer, your dad was CEO of a company. You are now 30 years of age and you have had a great academic career. Your academic career success was a given the lineage through which you came, right? You were sixth or seventh generation going to school. There was absolutely no doubt in your diction of Hindi, Sanskrit or English. Your math was good, your science was good. You had enough help at home, you had books at home. This is your background. And it's easy for you to say, start saving, start investing at a young age, etc., because you didn't support anybody. You just had to earn money for yourself. Your father could have supported another 5 families, right? That is the kind of wealth you were brought into. Now, the person whom you're giving advice is come from a broken family. His father remarried, never looked after this house. This house was always in poverty. He never had a full-time job. He was doing something in the film industry. Occasionally he would get money, sometimes he would not get money. You've not really gone to bed starving, but yes, you have yearned for many of the things and said, I wish I had this. You have looked at friends' shoes and dress and what have you in school and said, I wish I had it. You didn't have it, right? Now, between these two people, the advice can't be the same. So whether I am a financial journalist or a blogger, and I have never done financial advisory as a profession, I am not good to do financial advisory. I just can't. I don't understand client profiling. I can understand product profiling. I understand client profiling only from textbooks. It's very different. It is very different to be in the midst of it and doing it, and to be sitting in the air conditioned comfort and passing a judgment, right? These are two completely different things. Your parents come from a different background, you are from a different background. Your father may not understand your risk profile, and I'm not joking. Your father does not understand the stress under which you're working. Yes, you're working in an international bank, you work real long hours, you have no time for exercise. Your dad doesn't understand any of this. Your dad doesn't understand the stress. He just understands that your CTC is 1.8 crores and that is awesome, right? That's your fault. You shouldn't have told him. You should have just shown him the take home pay and multiplied that by 12 instead of showing your CTC, right? So he doesn't have enough data about you, and he might have some old ideas that a rich man means many houses. So he buys a house for you in Chennai, he buys a house for you in Bangalore, he buys a house for you where have you, right? And you suddenly find that you have to pay so much of EMI, you're not interested, these are houses in which you're not going to live. So your wealth creation process has already become a mess because you were psyched into, or whether forced to listen to your parent. It's time when you drew the line, cut the umbilical cord and said, no, this is not right, this is not what I will do. I need to have so much of debt, I need to have so much in liquid fund, I need to have equities. You are afraid of equities does not mean I should not be investing in equities, right? personalities are different. Your ability to handle risk is very different from his ability to handle risk. His risk meant not having enough to eat. For you, that is never in question. You got a huge amount of money lying in government securities or what have you, and you know you can draw on it, and for the rest of your life you'll have enough money. For you, risk is underperforming of equity funds, underperforming of your real estate portfolio, if any, right? So the risk is different, people are different. You need to understand sizing, you need to understand cutting losses, you need to understand building portfolios. You need to understand completely different things than what your father had to understand or what your mother had to understand. So it's fairly obvious that they can't think of what you're doing, they can't look at your portfolio, they may not understand your portfolio. If you think there is going to be an understanding problem, please show them a part of your portfolio. Don't show them the whole portfolio. Don't think this is cheating. I have done this successfully in many cases where a father comes and tells me, my son's portfolio is now worth 2 crores. I know that the portion shown to him is worth 2 crores. I know his total portfolio is about 9 crores because this boy is afraid his father will start blowing money if he knows it's 9 crores, right? So you need to know how much whom to trust and how much whom to believe and how much whom to tell. It is perfectly all right to tell your family part of the story if you think that there is no control over what they tell others, etc. Perfectly all right. Don't look at it like, oh my God, how can I tell a lie? You can perfectly tell a lie. Make sure that you don't reveal your full portfolio if the people who are dependent on you have no clue on how to control their expenses. Suddenly they find that your net worth is 100 crores and they start blowing it like there is no tomorrow. If you think they are like that, just reveal 10 crores. I know many people who have done that and I think it is worthwhile. I know people who buy a term insurance with their wife as a nominee, with the wife also doesn't know. I know about his term insurance, his wife does not know about his term insurance. In case something happens, of course if I am dead, he will not know what to do, but the chances are it is your wife who should know. But if you think she doesn't have control over what she will do with that money, you have to keep that dirty secret away from her also. So parents, journalists, bloggers are not good advisors. They are here to give you general gyan. After that, you need an advisor who will handhold you and do the transaction actually, push you into doing that SIP, hold your hand and say, COVID is not the end of life, the world will go on, but also at the same time make sure that you have enough cash for the next 2 years. If you are in a difficult job, maybe 2.5 years, start looking for a job. He is to help you in all that. So an advisor is a completely different role from a parent. Your father or mother will never give you a client, right? Have they ever given you a client, whatever business you are in? They don't know that you require clients because of communication problem. So talk to your parents very politely, nicely, well, manage his portfolio, but when it comes to your own portfolio, learn a lot more to be able to push back your dad a little and say, my asset allocation is different, my risk profile is different, I may not be able to work till the age of 60, I may have to retire at 52, I need to build up quickly, therefore I need equity. I know equity can't be sold during bad times, but that does not bother me because for money for bad times I already have in liquid fund, right? You need to explain all this. If he doesn't know, he will panic. And if you show him your portfolio and there is a 50% mid cap and the mid cap is down 40%, he will then say, see, what is the use in earning money, you have lost it, etc., etc., blah, blah, blah. So depending on your parents' personality, you have to decide how much information to give them and how much not to give them. Many of us have reached our goals without having any great goalposts, or rather we did not even have a map of reaching there, but having reached, we are now able to connect the dots and say, this is what we did. That does not make us to become good advisors for our children. Let them create their own maps. I was talking of you as a kid not listening to parents. Now I'm saying as a parent, don't give advice. You have no capability to give advice regarding their career, regarding their marriage, or regarding their wealth. The sooner you find out, the better it is for you. Don't give this kind of advice. Life is difficult. Don't say I did it so you can do it. May not be possible. Don't say I suffered therefore you have to suffer. Makes no sense. Yes, you stood in a queue to buy milk. Yes, you stood in a queue to buy movie tickets. That's perfectly all right. They have far greater stress than we have. There's absolutely no doubt that your children in their 20s and maybe even in their 30s have far greater stress than you when you are in your 50s or 60s, right? Thank you.